Hello guys and welcome to Manor Lords. So I wanted to take a little break from Workers and Resources on top of my break from everything, and I decided to play some Manor Lords. So basically it's all about managing a medieval village as it grows and becomes a medieval town. It has some combat scenarios as well, but the combat system is not too evolved yet. But the city building part is very fun. So we're going to take a look today. And I played about 20 hours of this so far, but we're going to start with a new game today. So first you get to select your character and sort of your coat of arms. And I think I will select this guy because I like his hat. And as you can see, we can select different styles for the coat of arms. And I think there is some historical accuracy to this. I know that on the developer blog there was a lot of discourse on this, but you know, let's keep it simple. Single color background, but maybe let's pick a pattern. Maybe something like this. And for our logo, or what would you call it? Let's maybe a castle or tower. No, let's do a snail. Let's do a snail. You need to have a snail in there. And if you hear purring, that's my cat on my desk, right next to the microphone. But other than that, there is a lot of customization that you can do with this. As you can see, you can select your colors from a set. I actually kind of like that. And, you know, with patterns and everything, something like that. Ooh. And you can sort of see, you can edit the different fields. I'm guessing I could make it different backgrounds if I wanted to. And you can actually change the scaling on this as well. So there's a lot of thought that was put into creating this customization system, and I really like that. So I guess let's try to see if we can do something fun with this. It's like a blue and gold, maybe. Field B. Let's do just like flat. Can we do maybe like orange? No, it doesn't look too good. Darker blue. And field A. Yeah, let's keep our snail in there and the flat background. That looks pretty good. And can we scale our snail a little bit? Can we put more snails? Oh wow, you can actually do like a whole... I like that it actually goes like, yep, 2, 3, 4. And it's like, oh, it's a circle now. That's nice. I haven't played with this too much, but it's very cool. And I apologize for the noise. My cat really wants to cuddle with the microphone as soon as I start to record. Let's do this. I like this. And you can actually change the color on the snail. That's cool. Do we have like a... Can we do like a golden snail? It's like a golden silver snail. Or maybe black. Oh, that looks nice. Okay, that's gonna be our coat of arms. So the game currently has a couple scenarios. So you have like your basic, just build a settlement, and your goal is to just build it into a town. Then there's this restoring the peace, and you have to defeat a baron and defeat some bandits to get this. And the final one, there's just all-out battle everywhere, where you have to survive but also like grow the town. So we're going to be playing the Rise to Prosperity on the default difficulty, and then we get to select a map. And they actually added there only used to be one map, but now they actually have multiple. And I wish there was some description of this, but I guess let's see what sounds fun. Winding river. I guess we're gonna have to like build bridges if we want this, which might be interesting. And high peaks might have a lot of resources but limited building space. So I guess yeah, let's try that. Could be fun. Yeah, let's begin. Let's begin. Okay, we are in. Let's stop the time. Read our message. Where others see trouble, you see potential. These lands shall become rich and prosperous under your skillful management. I wouldn't call it that, but very well. Reach the large town settlement to achieve victory, okay? So we have to, first of all, we have to make sure we have enough supplies for our people, so food, fuel, and we have to also build houses. And if I recall correctly, the game gives you a random spawn when you start. So like, you can see the map has multiple regions, so it picks one, and we can capture these regions, or we can expand to them once we have influence, but we will get to that later. But here we can also see resources that we have available to us. And we see that we have a fishing pond, so we can use that for food. We have some stone, we're going to need that to expand a couple things. We can hunt animals, but we're going to have to be very careful about that, because you can actually exhaust these deposits that don't renew, or that are not too... So we have to be very careful about that, because you can exhaust these deposits, and I think you can actually even remove it, like hunt them to extinction, but I'm not sure about that. Then we also have like the trade point where traders come in from. We have a rich deposit of clay, so we'll be able to build mines on these. We also have a rich deposit of salt, which is going to be great for trading later on. Unfortunately, I think this means that we're not going to have a whole lot of fertility. Let's look at underground water. And it looks like we have plenty of water, so that's good. Let's look at fertility, which is, yep, not great. So farming is going to suck. Yep. Yeah, and we're going to need barley to... advance some levels, if I recall correctly. But we have a couple areas where we can grow it. So now I'm trying to figure out where to start building. And basically right around the lake is the most fertile area. And I'm kind of thinking, let's start building, up here near the... Let's start building up here near the border. And expand the town sort of across here. Because we could also start here, closer to the edge. It is very small, like the area is very small. But I figure if we start here, we can sort of clear this area over time and start settling in. Okay, so let's lay down a couple of the basics. So we will need a source of food. And I think the best option is going to be a fishing hut. And I say let's, build it right here next to the pond so the guy doesn't have to go too far. Let's build a road. And this game has a very interesting road building system, so you can see it's sort of very natural road building. So we can do something like this. And then we're going to start building up here, so it's kind of up on the crest of the hill. And I figure let's start, put a street this way. And right now, roads don't cost us anything. I think eventually they're going to cost us something, but we might as well get started. Then, so we have food secured. Then we should start getting some logs. So let's build that here so it starts cutting up this forest right here to give us more room to build. And I think I should also build a hunting cabin down here. And for now, that should do. Right here, I think I'm going to put a marketplace eventually. Let's start the building. And around it, we're going to put down housing. And we can actually start putting down the plots. And let's start with the well, actually. So we can put the well right here. Hopefully that will do. And so we have families, right? Any unassigned families will do construction, and any assigned families that we assign to a specific job will do that job at a building. And to get more families, we obviously need to be building more houses. And we probably want to move the hitching post somewhere closer to where we're going to be actually building. So let's move it there. And we will want to build some houses. And you see you can build plots by marking an area, and that gives you different size of plots. I'm going to show you. And we can make the first ones pretty big because we have a lot of room, and we kind of want them to be big for a good reason. So let's try like this. And like this. And we actually don't have enough wood because we're still constructing. So let's maybe start with just one. So there you see. So the plot is big, so it allows us to actually have the house there, then have an extension, which we can do some upgrades later on, or, well, once it's built. And then we can actually build a housing extension. So it will allow us to house 2 families on one plot. So let's put that under construction. And let's speed up the time a little bit while all the building is being done. And we'll also want to build a storeroom and a granary. But first, we should probably increase the priority on the logging camp so we can start making more logs. And you know, the hunting cabin is done, so let's put a family there to start hunting. We want to reserve some wild animals. We don't want to hunt them all the way to 0. So that's all good. And this is going to give us, I believe this produces meat and some hides that we can use to make leather later on. And let's see, we still have a lot of supply sort of in the middle of nowhere. So, but we're going to build a storehouse soon enough. I think I'm going to put it right here next to the well as well as the granary. So I can have... yep, it's raining. Things are getting soaked, which is unfortunate. And I love the construction animation on this. Look at that. Oh, now nothing's happening, but... because they're waiting for material, and you can see there's an ox coming in with a log. And now our logging camp is built. Let's put 2 families on that. And now let's see if we can start, or at least schedule construction on a storehouse and a granary, which we can't because we don't have logs. But don't worry, these guys are gonna fix it for us soon enough. And you can see now the ox is taking the logs straight from the logging camp to the construction sites rather than going from this storehouse down here, or this pile of supplies down here. And then we have 1 house built. That's good. And we can build different upgrades. And I think a vegetable garden might be a good idea. So we have some more diversity in food. And the diversity of food supplies is going to be very important later on. Because as you can see, every house has certain needs before it can upgrade to the next level. So these guys need water. That's good, we have a well. They need the church, we don't have that yet. And then they need fuel stalls and food stalls with 2 different types of foods. And a clothing stall. So we will need to build a marketplace. But we don't need to do that yet. We now have some logs, so let's pause the game and build a granary and a storehouse. And then we can also set up the construction for a couple more houses. I'm gonna put them... Well, I don't want to put them here. Let's set up the road. No. Okay, let's set up a marketplace, which is right here. And again, the marketplace, you sort of select an area and it tells you how many market stalls you can put there. And I'm gonna make it fairly big. I don't think we're gonna need, you know, that much. But the bigger it is, the more stalls you have and the more range it has, which will become important as the town grows. So I guess maybe we'll go like this, make it square. 44. That should be good enough. And now let's put a road around it. Like so. And like so. And now we can start building some more housing plots. And let's have 2 right here to kind of have like a... Okay, let's see, 2. We can put 3. There are 2 big ones. I would say let's put 3 right there. And that leaves us with 1 family without the house. So let's put that, so let's say right here, and we can put maybe room for 2 houses, and we can make these a little bigger. But that kind of leaves us like, well, what do we do with this street there? But maybe we can put like crafting areas there. And I think I'm gonna make it a little smaller, like so. And have 2 plots, so they have an extension. There we go. And we can like do the same along this road here, and then here as soon as that forest starts getting a little thinned out. And you can see these guys now have a vegetable garden, and that means they will have vegetables available to them. You can see them like working on their little garden in their little house. And what I believe we can actually do is visit our little village. Oh, look at my guy and his pointy boots. And, you know, have a look at how things are going. We have a little well, a little house for our peasants. Greetings, my lord. Yes, yes, keep working, peasants. Keep working. Good job, good job. Very, very good job. Doing great. Can we run? Oh, we can run. Nice. I would like to see sort of what happens with this visit mode later on, because it's very cool. See construction happening right here. Now the better question is, how do I exit? Let's see, escape. There we go, okay. But I definitely enjoyed that. And you can see, yep, we have 4 missing houses. That's the -4, but we have 5 under construction. That's the +5. And 11 total population. And we have 2 unassigned families and 3 assigned families. Mostly because we need a lot of lumber at the moment. However, we are going to need firewood, but we're still good for 15 months, so that's okay. And the well works, so that's all good. Let's fast forward. And I wonder what's the holdup on construction. But I'm guessing they're prioritizing housing over the storage areas. But I would rather not have my food spoil, so we're gonna prioritize the granary. And the hunting camp is full of stuff. Basically, in our first year, all we're gonna try to do is get all our people housed, get some steady influx of food, have some basic resources going on, and then in the next year we can start looking into maybe mining some of these rich deposits, because I think that's going to be the best way to earn money. And while everything is being built, we can actually have a look at whether there is any better farming areas here. Because farming is probably the most reliable way of getting food. Yeah, so you can see that this region right here is very good for farming. Let's see, flax, yep. Barley, yep. So I don't think we want to farm, because you can... Your village, or your town, has development points that you can spend on different things. And one of the branches you can go is farming. And it gives you some very interesting bonuses on farming and such. However, every town, so if you conquer or capture another region, that town is going to have a separate development tree. So you want to play to your strengths. And I think we're going to want to go with the mining option, so we can place mines on rich deposits. And trade, so we can use that for basically selling all that stuff for money, so we can buy food and all that. And then with the other ones, we can try and focus on other things. Yeah, this might be good, since we have a pond with a lot of fish. And it allows us to use it year-round, so this might be the first thing we go for, actually. So it would be 1 development point, then 2... Yeah, so we're gonna have to make some decisions. And we're gonna have a development point soon enough, but I would rather have like a steady supply of basic foods. Okay, now we have some storehouses. And we can assign 1 family to this. I'm gonna take 1 family off the timber, because we still need 1 family for construction. And granary is done. And if you assign a family to a granary or a storehouse, what they do basically is they go and gather up all this food and supplies, and they will deliver it to those storage areas, and we will have to upgrade these soon enough. But that's okay for now. We need planks, and we can't make those yet because we don't have a sawmill. And they will also set up stalls on the marketplace. But from what I've seen, pretty much everyone will set up stalls on the marketplace. So if you have a firewood camp, they will have a stall on their own. The hunters also have a stall, I believe. And you can check what they sell. So these guys are selling bread and some food. And these guys are selling firewood. And our approval is going down because we have homeless people, but that's okay. We're about to fix that. We're running a little low on food, which is odd. Oh, because we don't have anybody fishing. That's unfortunate. So the hunters will have to... There we go. So everyone has a house now, so we got a development point. And that allows us to buy these upgrades. So like we said, we're not going to do the farming, even though you can have orchards as an upgrade to houses, which is very nice. We don't have any berries, so we don't need berry management. Apiaries are interesting because you can make candles with them later on. But they're limited to 2 apiaries per region, so the production is pretty low. We could do trapping, which gives, passive income of meat, which is helpful. But I think pond keeping might be the way to go, since we kind of have that pond with a lot of fish that we can use. However, hunting also gives us hides, which give us clothing as a need satisfaction. So I think we're gonna need the hunters anyway. Interesting. So hides are produced. Oh right, because the backyard extensions, you can have a goat pen in there, and that produces some meat and some hides. But that would cost us 2 development points. We could do charcoal, but I don't think we need that yet, but we're gonna have to get to mining eventually. Trade logistics, so we're not gonna be trading yet. And we don't want foreign supplies. So I guess let's do this. That gives us a year-round source of food. Let's unassign a family from this and assign them to be the fishermen. Oh, they have like a little boat. Look at that, that's cute. And I generally love the art of this game, and I am very impressed by what the developer has managed to do. Like I said, I think it's originally one guy, but since then there is a bunch of people who joined the projects, or at least according to the credits. So, and we can actually look into some of the other backyard extensions here. So as you can see, we can do chicken, or we can do animal pen, but we need planks for that. And later we can do like advanced ones that require higher levels of the plot or something like that. And obviously the bigger the yard, the more the extension produces. But right now we have one family that's not doing anything. So I think we're gonna... Oh, we're almost out of fuel. Okay. So I guess they're gonna be making fuel. Let's see... Gathering. Yeah. And this also causes some deforestation, so we could put them here. And eventually you can buy like or you can build a forester's hut which plants new trees, and we're gonna have to do that later on. But this is going to be the main direction of where we're gonna be expanding the town. So for now, let's put this here so they can start working on this forest. And yeah, we're gonna have to wait until that last house is built. That should give us a new family. And we're gonna probably put them to work fishing. Oh, and you can see people fishing right there. And we have some fish. And let's assign a family to make some fuel. Our food supplies are doing a little bit better. Oh, so one plot consumes 1 fuel per month. Okay, that explains why we had so much fuel, because we had no plots. So we are in our first summer, and I think we're doing pretty great. Right, because we have no unassigned families, because all the families are doing something. Because we need all of them to do something. Do we have any supplies left in the field? No, that's good. And so you can actually assign families to the hitching post. And that just speeds up how fast things get transported, I believe. That's the... Yep, speeding up logistics. I see the internal help has expanded a little bit, which is great. But so far, it looks like everybody's happy. And you can see, you have armaments, because the way combat works in this game, you have sort of your own retainers as a Manor Lord. But then you also arm your villagers to fight as a militia. But we can't really do that right now, because... Well, A, we have no reason to, and B, I think you need to have the manor built for you to be able to do that. But we're building up supplies very nicely. And our approval is going up. Well, not really. For some reason, we still have homelessness. Even though everybody has a home, but, well, let's give it a month or 2, I guess. But once this goes over 50, I think, new people are going to start coming in. And that's what we want. And you can see these guys are doing a really good job of cutting out all of these trees. My plan, sort of, is to sort of have the town in this area, then this little hill here, build the manor there, so I have the river be as the natural barrier. Or I could, you know, build the manor right here, depending on sort of where the... oh, disease. Right, because we... So to stave off disease, you need a forager hut who gathers wild berries, which we don't have, but they can have a garden that that will grow herbs for you to use to cure people. We can do like shrine. Yeah, let's do shrine at the entrance of the... Oh, someone has to build that, and we don't have anybody to build that, but that's okay. We should be getting new families soonish, hopefully. But our supplies are all good. We have fuel for 3 months. Or, well, 15 months, 16 months. I guess it calculates... Okay, so it does actually calculate with that. So that's very good. So let's unassign our firewood cutters for a little bit. And let's build a couple more houses. Like this, 3 more houses. And we will also need a sawmill. And a forager hut, I think, so we can have herbs. So I'm going to build the forager hut sort of way out here. And I'm going to build a sawmill next to the storehouse. And I think I'm going to keep like the industrial bits along this line here, so it's close to the storage houses. And you know, the manor either right here or maybe here. Can we maybe see like the terrain lines? That's what I would like to see. I paused the game for a little bit. But I think, you know, this part has like it's a little hill there. So we can put the manor there, but this looks like it's more on a hill, so it might be a better idea to have the manor up here, or maybe even all the way sort of up here in this foresty area. But we don't need to worry about that yet. Like yeah, what do we need? A small village. We're not a small village yet, so that's okay. And the winter is coming. I heard that one before. Let's make sure we get as much construction done as possible. Ah, there we go. New family has moved in, which means we can put them to work. And we're gonna put them to work at the... Actually, let's leave them in construction for a while, and then once the saw pit is done, we're gonna start making planks so we can do upgrades. And we're good on food, good on fuel so far. Our shrine is complete. And let's increase the priority on that because we need the planks quite a lot. And let's, while we're waiting, let's extend the roads a little bit. So I'm going to put a road sort of in between these houses here. And connect it up to this road. And then I'm going to have room for one house here. Eventually this woodcutting camp is going to move probably somewhere else, maybe over here, so we can clear the forest around the clay mine, or maybe the salt mine. Because it only mines like... Oh, and now we can see terrain lines. So it was road construction. Okay, saw pit is finished, so let's assign a family to this. And another family started moving in. which is very nice. And a forager hut is almost done. Now, the problem with this thing is going to be that there's nothing for them to forage. So I have to wait until I have 2 planks to actually build the herb garden for them. And we have our first snow in December, pretty late for a mountain pass. Okay, Soppit is doing some milling now. And now we have planks. So we can build that. Unfortunately, that cost us some money. However, I think we should have a little bit left. Yep. So you see, chicken costs some money. We don't have any. But we can build an animal pen, so allows for keeping either goats or pigs in the backyard. Pigs provide a strong passive source of meat, while goats provide a passive source of both meat and hides. And we need hides, more importantly, right now. And I know it's kind of stupid to have goat pens in our town center, basically, so we should move the farming bits a little bit further out, but we need that right now. And I don't think you can change the... Oh, you can demolish it. Okay, so technically we could switch it up later if we wanted to. And we can build more living space on these big ones. Oh, so we have to buy the animals now. So it used to be that it just gave you animals, but now we have to buy the animals. That's not great, but it is what it is. I forget how we get regional wealth. So that's like the money that the peasants have, and you use that to buy the backyard extensions or into trade. But through taxes, you can put it into your own personal treasury that you can use for upgrading your retinue, or you can convert it to influence, which you can use to claim other areas. However, I think they start generating local wealth at level 2, I believe. They start doing that. And we should have 2 types of food in the marketplace. So... But we will need a church. And I'm thinking, what's a good spot for a church? And right here is a good area we could put it. Or we could actually, put it here instead of this little wooded area. Then again, I don't really want to cut out all the woods, because you want to have the houses as close to the marketplace as possible. But at the same time, you also want to have all the services as close to the houses as possible. So I think maybe here, even though there's like the industrial district, if you want to call it that. Let's see, housing. Let's build a church. Oh, we can build a corpse pit, but we don't need one. So let's build a wooden church right here. And you can see these guys are very nicely clearing the area for us. However, I need to start considering more woods for wood production. So I think I should build a forester's hut. I think I'm going to build it down here. And they're just going to grow trees in this little area. And then maybe next winter we can start looking at mining pits. And with that, we actually made it through our first winter. And it went pretty well, especially considering how long since the last time I played this game. And I think that's where I will leave it for the first episode. So thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one for the next year in Manor Lords.